the dark. Dig Daddy's out there with a fire in his heart. Pay dirt on the table, sifting through the night. Glitter in his eyes, everything feels right. Hand in the water, fingers in the mud. Buckets full of promise, gold in the blood. Gear on the bench, tools of the trade. Hustling through the silence, riches to be made. Dig Daddy digging deep into the vein.
Welcome back. So, just to give a little story here, a little groundwork as to why this is on my bench today. It was on my birthday. I got a notification saying your product has shipped. And I says to myself, I didn't order nothing. Huh? And I look at it and it was an order for a Prospector Dream Switchback Sluice. So I'm thinking, oh, hey, birthday gift, birthday surprise. Well, it took a little longer to get here than expected, and it finally made its way here, and so we're going to check it out today. But I did just want to preface this whole video by saying I didn't pay for this thing. I also wasn't told anything. I never got an email saying, hey, Dig Daddy, we're going to send you this. Check it out. Do a review. Hey, we want you to send it back to us. Hey, send this. Nothing. Just, hey, your product is shipped. All right. So I figured let's check it out. Let's do a little review on it, give our honest take, and then it'll go upstairs and sit in the loft. I don't know. Maybe we'll use it all the time. Maybe I'll replace my gear in the tub here. Who knows? But we're gonna check it out today and decide if it's a good rig or what. So let's do that. Let's hop over to the bench and check it out. See what's in the box. Come on. All right. Welcome to the bench. We got our box right here. This is how we got it. I haven't opened it up. I haven't taken anything out. I opened it up, said, oh, nice. And here we are. So, just a little overview of how it's packed, how it came to me. This is it. There's a hose with stuff. There's the body of the unit. Make sure there's nothing in the paper. There's a pump in here. Looks like there's a lower mat already in the unit. Okay, this feels like something in here. Okay, this is that grate that goes off the back. Let's get rid of some of this paper as we go. So it goes like this. There we are. All right. And then there's this piece, which I think is the header. That we got an adventure sluice with all micro mat. Hey man, I don't have one of these. Now I do. Paper. Bring that hose out. More paper. All right. I need hands. I need more hands. This is talking about the Dream Mat itself, which we all know is wonderful. I thought that was 2 pages. That's really heavy paper stock, so I thought it was 2 pages. Okay, there is a letter included here. All right. So we hope you enjoy this new Switchback Sluice, finished sluice. This switchback is a factory second, and it has a few small flaws that he repaired. If I make a video, don't highlight the flaw, enjoy it as it is. Okay, so here's the deal. Here's the rundown, and it's been now explained to me. This was sent to me intentionally. So, you know, one, if I want to review it, which I'm sure he knows that I'm going to, obviously, you know, there may be some flaws. So I may not even notice what they are, which is most likely, because usually when he has a factory second something, there's nothing really wrong with it. A little chip or whatever, nothing functional. There's going to be a magnetic separator upgrade soon for it, and allows you to get rid of the heavy, so maybe like a spinning magnetic remover like the he has. And all the room to catch that uber fine gold. Top mat runs faster, catches the easy gold, then we classify it, run it over a wider mat, slows it down, the alluvial effect. He doesn't say that, but that's what it is. And then if you have micro gold. Alright, so he's curious to see what I like about it. There is a QR code you can scan that will show you how to set it up. I probably won't bother. It's pretty self-explanatory, but if I run into any questions, I know where to go. So, alright. Good stuff, awesome stuff. Thank you, Dave, for the gift. I really do appreciate it. Like I say, it's shipped on my birthday, so I'm looking at it as a birthday gift. So thank you. This is a really cool birthday gift. Now, if you want to buy one yourself, folks, maybe I shouldn't shove it in there that far. If you want to buy one yourself, you can find them on the website. That's going to be tough to get in and out. Anyways, they're $199. Let's get all this box out of the way so we can really get a good look at this. This is how it sits. It has some screw holes so you can like secure it down to something. There's a couple funky burns here. I think those are probably the flaws he was talking about, because you don't see those on other ones. That's something even I could probably fix myself. Looks like there's a metal piece in there. Oh, I see. It broke right there, and this is a repair job that they did to keep it back together. That makes total sense. Awesome. Okay, so I see what the flaw was. The flaw was that the housing cracked, but they did an awesome job repairing it. So yeah, that's the flaw he was talking about. We're good with that. A free sluice for that? I won't even see that, man. That's awesome. I can cover that with something, or just melt it further, or get something and cover it up so it doesn't scratch anything. That's easy. Including all the other stuff. You know, this is a great deal. All right. And we slide this whole unit down into here. It's a really tight fit, but I'm sure with use, that'll loosen up a little bit. And there we go. This is the Switchback Sluice. It's got micro mat up top, micro dredge. No, is that micro dredge? Micro dredge, micro dredge? Well, I guess it's not alluvial down at the bottom. It's just wider. The unit looks like it's alluvial, but it drops down into a square pad. Yeah, that looks like the micro dredge. Wish they would just print it on there, micro dredge. I don't have to guess. But so that's what we got down below. An extra 6-inch sluice to continue, or mat to continue catching that fine gold. All right. I'm looking forward to checking this out. Comes with everything needed. It's kind of a tight fit, but it should be, because otherwise it'd keep popping out. All right. I'm going to find somewhere I can set this up, because I'm not going to break down my pit over there. It's kind of a nice day outside. Maybe we'll go get some fresh air. Give me a minute here, and we'll be right back. This part is really hard to get in there. I think that's as far as it's going to go. I don't feel comfortable pushing it any harder. I don't wind up breaking it. All right. Let's go set this up outside. All right, welcome back. Got everything set up out here outside of the shed. It's the only real space I had to do this in. What I wound up using for my setup here is I got one of the cement mixing tubs. This is the smaller size. You can find these over at Home Depot or, you know, wherever. Just to have somewhere to throw the tailings that come off the top here. I got a little bucket with a helper for that. Off the end here, I'm going to run the water to get this tub to drop down, but that'll catch any of the tailings that come off the end here. So that way nothing gets sucked back up into the pump. With something like this, you always want to make sure you're not getting dirt back up into your pump. Now, this is fresh water straight from the tap. So we're going to want to throw a little bit of surfactant in there. So a little squirt of the Modern Michigan Prospectors Creek Drops. We'll take care of that. Do another little squirt just to be sure. They don't suds up too bad, usually really at all. All right, so let's put a little juice to it. Crack open the juice box here. All right, now I got some little adjustment that you can do here, but I don't see any reason not to just run it at full. The dot over here indicates that we're level like we should be, but I feel like a little bit of a tilt this way would benefit it. But I'm gonna go with what the dot says. Dream Mat's pretty forgiving either which way. But all right. We got our setup running. Now let's run some dirt through it. Now this is all just tailings from my paydirt run-ins. A little bit of everything, a little bit of everywhere. Oop. It's already classified down to about that 1/4 inch, so I think that's where this system really shines, is the 1/4 inch under. The grate here is gonna help kick out anything over that size on that first level. You do have some limited space here, so that's gonna limit how big of a material you can run through it anyway.
Couple screws, couple bolts, yeah, I know this trail. New switchback sluice like a roller coaster for the dust. I'm a backyard prospector with a shovel and some rust. Backyard gold dreams. Turn it up, heavy in my hands like a heartbeat stud. 2 layers of heaven in the black sand stream. Got a built-in way to sift through the mud. Everything you need but the water and the dirt. 199 to make these wild dreams work. Backyard gold dreams. Backyard gold dreams.
All right, let's shut this thing down. We ran through all that dirt. There we go. Hopefully I didn't just throw any gold out. Man, it's rough. Now looking at that, you can see it's catching all the garnets, it's catching all the heavies, not much else. And damn it if it ain't catching the gold too. Sure enough, there's gold in that dirt. So how about that? Now that's the upper mat. We'll snuffer this up and we'll clean out the lower mat. See if anything got past that down to the lower side. I'm gonna pull out this lower mat. Pretty easy to get out. Easy enough to clean up. I do like the normal mat way better than the adventure. Those things are a little bit of a pain, extra work to clean out. The normal mat, just we're done. There I don't know if you'll be able to even see it out here, but absolutely little micro beep, 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 beep. Little itty bitty pieces, really hard to even see out here in the light. So they're gonna be a little bit harder to get snuffered up. Just gotta squint. Now, if your pay dirt has gold in it, this will catch it, for sure. But let's take a closer look. So after taking that lower mat out, notice there's a lot of dirt left behind. Getting the whole unit and moving it around to try to clean that, a little bit of a task. But overall, nice. It's really light. You know, without any of the stuff in it, the unit itself, the body of the unit's pretty light. A little bit of threading going on there. That's probably part of the fact that it's a B stock. But not too bad. Let's go inside and I'll give you my final words on the old Switchback Sluice here. All right, welcome back. We're back in the shed. Let's go over the sluice, the Switchback Sluice, Prospector's Dream. I'll kind of go over some of the pros, some of the cons, and give you my thoughts on the unit. So the pros to it is it's an all-in-one system. You get a pump, the hoses to hook it up, pretty much everything you need other than a power source, water, and some material to run. Now, it's going to accept material up to about 1/4 inch. Up at top, that's as big as you're going to run through, because there's a gate that's going to stop anything bigger from going through, and it's going to get caught up. So you want to be careful there. You don't want to put too big a material, otherwise you're going to have to clear it out manually because it's not going to make its way through. So keep that in mind. That is one of the limitations of the upper part of the unit. So that being said, you're limited on what size material you can run up top. Once it runs down that first section, you have that little grate that's going to take out anything over maybe about 20 mesh. And it's going to clean out. I think it says on the description what it cleans out. I'm sure it does. I'm not going to go read it right now. But it takes off that little layer of little bit larger material and runs everything back down the bottom end. Now down there you've got another section that's like 6 by 12 of another section of micro dredge, which is going to catch all the fine stuff that may have made it past that first section. You really shouldn't see much making it past the first section because the angle is pretty low, and the water flow isn't too overwhelming. Anything that does, though, is pretty much guaranteed to get caught on that second section regardless. So keep that in mind. That's how it's set up. You're going to want a tub and probably a couple extra tubs on either end to catch the tailings. So you want a big tub down below so that you can fit the two little tubs, something to put the sluice on, and of course the sluice itself. So I was using the small concrete mix bucket tub. You might get the big one. The large one's probably going to give you just a little bit more space so you can fit those two tubs in there with less restriction and it not be so awkward. But I definitely recommend that because you don't want your tailings going back into the water tub and then getting sucked back up by the pump and then ruining your pump, right away. You want to keep those out of the pump. So something to keep in mind when you're setting it up is you want to keep the tailings out of the pump. That's important. You should know that. But if you don't, now you do. It's important. Keep tailings out of your pumps. They're not dirty pumps. They'll get fried like that. The cons of the unit for me, there was a couple of blemishes on there. That's why it was sent to me free as a sample. But the cons to it for me, the top unit was very, very snug. And that might be part of why it was sent to me, but at least for my experience, I'm not sure. But it was very, very snug. So getting it out of the header unit was very tricky. And cleaning off that adventure sluice, for me, those adventure sluices have always been a pain to clean out just because of the extra fins on the side that make it so you can't really just bend it and roll it like you do the regular mat. The mat down below, as you saw in the video, cleaned out in a snap. The one up on top, I had to kind of wash down and get the material out of it, which, isn't a big deal, but it just makes cleanup a little bit more difficult. Maybe more so than it needs to be if they'd gone with just the flat mat up on top instead of the floppy mat, or the flappy mat instead of you know what I'm saying, instead of the adventure sluice, the mock sluice, whatever you want to call it. And that's always, like I say, has always been one of my critiques about the adventure sluice style sluice is they don't clean out nearly as easily as the normal mats do. That's just inherent to the design. So just something to keep in mind. They do have a couple other products that are a little bit smaller. They don't have the extra runs, but they still have that adventure sluice. And I don't know if they all have that same problem with the sluice and how hard it comes off of there. But I don't remember my old little adventure sluice header that I used to have having so tight of a grip. Maybe over time it'll wear down a little bit and loosen up. Time will tell. If I keep using it, we'll figure that out. But as a first experience with it, that's what I ran into. Aside from that, cleanup on it is a little bit trickier because the dirt can get caught up in some of the little crevices on the sluice, the rig, just in the inherent nature that it's 3D printed. So the striation layers will always have a little space that small gold could potentially get caught up on. So you just have to be really careful about that and really conscious of that when you're cleaning up and maybe wash a little bit extra water down it. It'll be such small gold that you won't notice it if it's gone, but you know, every piece adds up and it sucks to lose any. But so just keep that in mind. You might want to give that an extra wash out when you're cleaning up the whole unit. The lower half of the system cleans up easy. It's got a mat down there, so you just slide that out, roll it in your pan or whatever you're using for your clean out, and it's clean. Toss it to the side, you're done. It's just that simple. I prefer that way more than the upper side. The other piece of critique that I have is that little grill on the end of the top sluice. It feels a little flimsy, and I feel like the material gets caught up there a lot, and it starts to make a bit of a backup. So you got to clear that off pretty frequently, otherwise the material starts piling up. Maybe if the angle was a little bit steeper, it would roll down easier. You know, it's just something to be mindful of, to watch and not let pile up and then have your smaller material start rolling over the top of that because it can't make its way through and then, you know, washing off the end. The unit works pretty damn well. It absolutely caught the gold that I didn't think was even supposed to be there. It caught astonishing pieces in there that I wasn't expecting. But more than that, it caught those itty bitty flakes that tend to sneak away from you. The unit absolutely catches the gold, the micro gold, the flour gold, all that gold in between. So for that, it definitely takes care of business. Now, for me, there's a couple of cons in there, like I'd mentioned. I prefer, like my setup, it's just got the normal 6x mat, 6x16 mat. It's easy cleanup. But if you don't have any, this could definitely take care of, you know, your needs there in your garage, in your shed, on your porch, on your patio, wherever it is that you're cleaning up your material, it'll get it done for you. Just understand that you're going to have a couple extra parts in there to really make the thing shine and to keep those cleanups easy and not have a big mess and suck dirt up into your pump and wind up ruining it. But aside from that, the unit works great. And if you want to check them out, I'll leave a link down below for you to go check that out, prospectorsdream.com. But check out their other stuff too. This is really good if you're working with small material and you got a lot of it, or a medium amount of it. If you got a lot of material, they might have some other products for you that'll work a little bit better to get through it a lot quicker. This is definitely going to be for the hobbyist. If you're a professional miner, I think you might wind up busting this thing up. So you might want something made out of metal, a little bit heavier duty, but this thing is super light, doesn't take up too much space when it's tucked away. So definitely go check it out. Again, I'll leave a link down below for you. Other than that, this is Dig Daddy signing out from the shed. If I don't see you out at the rivers, I will catch you in the backyard. Peace.